to Paletta Rossi Homestead. Well, today I thought we would do something a little different. I know a lot of people are interested in dehydrating, so I thought I'd go over some interesting facts, pictures that I have for you today, all about dehydration, how long things last for, different things like that. It may be a little bit longer video, but there's a lot of really good information. I got for Christmas, I got a Excalibur dehydrator. It's amazing and it's well worth the money. Along with it came a book that I was very pleased with all the information you can think about dehydrating. So that's what I'm going over with you today. So the first picture I'd like to show you is the shelf life when dehydrating. There's some great information on here, things that I really didn't even know. Like apples, when you dehydrate them, will last you, if they're in an airtight container, for 20 to 25 years. That is amazing. Baker's flour, 12 to 15 years. Granola, 4 to 5 years. Peppers, 8 to 12 years. That is just amazing. And like I said, they must be stored in an airtight container below room temperature. So you have to have it below 70 degrees to last that long. Okay, let's go on to the next picture. Okay, so the next picture you're going to see is the economic comparison between freezing, canning, and dehydrating. As you will notice, based on 500 pounds of food, if you're going to freeze it, it's going to cost you $81.17. Canning, based on 500 pounds of food and 280 quarts, would cost you $31. Dehydrating, based on 500 pounds of food, is only going to cost you $24.29. Now that is based on the price of your equipment amortized over 20 years. So that shows you, by purchasing a good canner, dehydrating is one of the best methods, and it saves you on a lot of space. So give it a try, see if it's something for you. You can dehydrate almost anything. Okay, I went and tried a different light so that I don't get as much glare on everything, so I'm hoping that works. The next 3 pages that I'm going to show you is your year-round food buying guide. It breaks it down month by month by month on what is the best fruits and vegetables that you could purchase. The month that would cost you the least amount to purchase those items. And I based it out over 3 pages so that I give you a better look. So like right now we're in February. Avocados, bananas, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, kumquats, mangoes, mushrooms, and pears. So that's a great month to turn around and hydrate those. So let's go on to the next page. Okay, so your next page is your reduction due to dehydration. What that means is this: apples, if you bought 12 pounds of apples and you dehydrated 1¼ pounds, you could fit them in 3-pint jars. See how much space you're saving? So take a look at that next chart. So the next 3 pages I'm showing you is a pre-treatment guide for fruits and vegetables. The first page is going to be fruits. The second page is going to be vegetables. And what it is it's telling you how to pre-treat that item before you turn around and dehydrate. So to give you an idea on the second page, onions. Onions are excellent for dehydrating. I do them all the time. And there's no pre-treatment needed. Now you go to carrots. Carrots are good for dehydrating, but you need to blanch them first. And in the description, it says steam, blanch 3 to 4 minutes over water. You may use 1 teaspoon of sodium disfute per cup of water. Basically, that's acid, and you could put them in lemon juice. For a more tender product, I jumped over and went to beans. Sorry about that. Let's go back to carrots. You may also dip steamed carrots in a cornstarch solution. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch per cup of water and drain before placing on trays. However, this is not necessary. And I always turn around and I try to blanch my carrots and my vegetables before I dehydrate them. So that's the next 3 pages. So why don't you take a look at them, and if you want, make sure you can turn around and hold your power key and your round little button, if you have it, that turns it just on and off or moves it from different things to different things. If you hold them both in, it will take a picture of it, and then you'll have it for the future. Okie doke, take a go look at that. The next page that you are going to see, that's just a label, and I do that same label where you write on the label the contents, carrots, drying date, the date that you dried it, how long it took you to dry. I don't do the weight before and the weight after. I really don't need that. Humidity, time of drying, I do write that. That way, next year when I go to do it, or I do it again, more carrots, whatever it may be, I know exactly what temperature I put the dehydrator on. Okay, let's get to the next one. So the next page I'm going to show you is a fruit dehydration guide. I'm only going to show you apples. If you'd like, oh, this piece of hair just is bothering me today. If you'd like, I can give you other ones, and all you have to do is leave a comment below, let me know your email address, and I could send you out whichever you'd like to see. It's just quite a few pages of information. So, to show you the next page is apples. And across the top, you will see humidity in pink. You'll see 11 to 30% dry. The orange is 31 to 50% dry. The yellow is 51 to 70% dry. Then it goes into the green, which you can't really read that well, and that's 71 to 80% dry. And then the blue area is 81 to 100% dry. And that's the area you should be looking at for dehydrating. So to give you an example, it would take you about 15 hours to get 81 to 100% dry. So that gives you an idea there. And then underneath where it shows that colors is how to actually do it. So other fruit that's great for dehydrating, which I do have all the information on, like I said, just leave me a comment and your email address, and I could send you individually any one that you'd like to see. But excellent for dehydrating of fruit would be apricots, bananas, cherries, citrus peels, coconut, dates, figs, grapes, nectarines, peaches, pears, pineapples, and prunes. What's good for dehydrating is currants, papaya, plums, rhubarb, strawberries, blueberries, kiwis, and persimmons. What is poor for dehydrating would be avocados, berries, which includes blackberries, boysenberries, cranberries, huckleberries, and raspberries. But you could still do it. It's just, it doesn't always come out the best. And your citrus fruits and melons. So like I said, if you want to see step-by-step instructions on how to do those, just leave me a comment below and your email address, and I'll be glad to send it out to you. So let's get on to the next one. Well, I hope you can read the chart. It's kind of hard. The weather outside is really nasty today. So next we're going to go on to a vegetable dehydration guide. And the next picture is going to show you excellent for dehydrating is onions. Now, onions are going to take you about 8 hours to be 100% dry. I do onions and garlic all the time. I love it, and I dehydrate it, and then I put it into a grinder, and I make my spices with it, my onion powder, my garlic powder. And I have all the step-by-step instructions for the onions, peppers. What's good for dehydrating is green beans and wax beans, beets, carrots, corn, mushrooms, okra, parsnips, peas, peppers, again, popcorn, potatoes, pumpkin. You know, I just found out, maybe I'm stupid, I'm not sure, but you can grow popcorn. Something new. Maybe I'll try that next year. Pumpkin, rutabagas, I'm probably saying it wrong. Tomatoes, oh, I did tomatoes this year. And I then grinded it up into tomato powder. Tomato powder is so expensive. And it's great because whatever you have left over, and I did the junk part of the tomatoes. I did the skins or the peels, and I turned around and I dehydrated them, and I made sure I took out all the seeds, and then I grinded them down and made tomato powder. It was excellent. Now you could put it in stews, anything really, anything that you want that tomato flavor with. Turnips, and then fair for dehydrating would be artichokes, asparagus, lima beans, broccoli, cabbage, eggplant, kohlrabi, black-eyed peas, summer squash, sweet potatoes, zucchini. Poor for dehydrating would be Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, celery. Now, I did the celery. I dehydrated the celery. It takes about 8 hours. Dehydrated it really good, and then I put it in the grinder and I made celery powder, and it worked great. I use it in soups. I'll use it when I make my macaroni or potato salad. It worked great. So I know it says poor for dehydrating, but it really worked great for me. Cucumbers, greens, and that includes collard, mustard, watercress, and turnip greens. Kale, lettuce. I don't think I'm going to do lettuce. Radishes, spinach, winter squash, and Swiss chard. So if you'd like any of those step-by-step instructions, again, just leave a comment and let me know what you want to get and your email address. So let's go on to the next one. The next thing I'm going to go over with you is what vegetables you can make a powder out of. Asparagus, you place the slices or spears in a blender and blend until powdered, and you can use those in soups. Beans, green beans, you can blend until they're powdered. That's after you dehydrate it, of course. And you can use those in soups and sauces. Broccoli, you place broken broccoli pieces in a blender and blend until thoroughly powdered. And again, you can use those in soups and sauces. Celery, again, powder it in a blender and use it for your seasonings. And I do that all the time. Cucumbers blend until powdered, and they could be used in seasonings and in dips. That I may try this year. Onions, excellent. Let me tell you, smelling freshly dehydrated onions and making it into a powder and smelling that powder over the powder you could buy, onion powder you could buy in the stores, oh, such a difference. But let me warn you on garlic and onions. When you're going to dehydrate, don't do it in the house. Woo, it creates a really nasty smell. Just do it outside. But you want to completely dry slices or chopped onions in a blender until they're finely powdered, and then use that for a seasoning. Peas, powder it in a blender and use it in soups or in broths. Spinach, you can puree it in the blender and again, put it in soups and make a spinach pasta out of it. That may be something I may try. Tomatoes, blend it into a powder. Make sure your tomatoes are completely dehydrated with no signs of moisture. And you can use it to make tomato sauce, paste, ketchup, juice, and soup. Because once you powder it, all you need is a little bit of water to rehydrate it, and you can make whatever you want with it. And it will last a lot longer. Okay, that's just to give you an idea with that. So the next page that I'm going to show you is an herb and spice guide. This is the exact same thing as the fruits and vegetables were. It gives you step-by-step instructions on how to dehydrate your herbs. So I showed you basil here. But again, if you leave a comment in your email address, I'll be glad to show you how to do step-by-step instructions for anise, bay leaves, caraway seeds, celery, chives, comfrey, coriander, dill, all the different spices. So if you want one, just let me know. I'll be glad to send it over your way. There is many pages in this book about all the different ones that you can do. Let's go on. Now, you can also dehydrate flowers, and you can use them for many different things. You can dehydrate them and use them for cake decorations. You could make potpourri with dried flowers. And to give you an idea, or I should say a recipe, you can get 1 cup of rose petals, 1 cup of lavender, a half a cup of rose leaves that are crushed, 1 tablespoon of dried orange peel, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of cloves, 1.5 teaspoons of cardamom, a half a teaspoon of coriander, 1.5 teaspoons of tonka bean. I have no idea what that is. And you can mix it all together and make a potpourri from it. But you don't have to use all those. You can use anything. This year I am going to plant a bunch of flowers that I'm going to use to make homemade teas. I bought bachelor buttons, feverfew, some different ones. I'm trying to remember them all. Hyssop. So different things that I'm going to make teas with, but I'll go over that more when planting season comes around. Okay, so let's go over and go on to the next one. So this last picture I want to show you is recipes that are in this book for making soups and salads. And 2 just caught my eye and they were on the same page, so I thought I'd take a picture. And that's onion soup and cheese potato soup. Oh, they look so good. So if there's anything that you'd like to see that maybe I didn't go over with dehydrating, or if you'd like some more recipes from the book, let me know. I'll be glad to show you. You just have to leave a comment. Well, that's about it. The rest of the book is all different kinds of recipes. There's some great recipes in the book here. Thank you for visiting with me today. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but it's a lot of information. So it was a pleasure spending this time with you. And again, thank you for visiting Paletta Rosa Homestead. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my content. Please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell. And if you hit the bell, it will let you know whenever I download something. And you can even personalize it by saying you just want to know about dehydrating or whatever that I put up. Again, it was a pleasure. Have a great day. Bye-bye.